Now or Never, Phoenix Collide is the record. The song on it is Running in Circles, as McFarlane has submitted to me. Pronouns are he, him. Genre is dance, said to be dance. So let's see how much of a dance we can whip up to this thing, I suppose. All right, let's go. Running in Circles from Now or Never. Ba-bam. Okay, Now or Never. Phoenix Collide. Running in Circles is the track. That was our first submission for the night. Thank you very much for being brave and coming up on the chopping block and being the first test subject for this evening. McFarlane, thoughts on that track?
So let me start by saying that I like that track. I think it was good. I think it served its purpose for, what it is as production. I don't know if I would necessarily call that dance. It did make me bob my head, everybody who was dropping the cat jam in the chat. I really, vibed with that. I did think that it was a slight bit repetitive. There could have been a little bit more changes, maybe just a little bit more liveliness within those pockets where it's kind of just a drum and the loop. But it didn't really make the song, any less enjoyable for me. Like, I really like listening to it. I think there's probably other cuts on here that complement that track very well. Think a lot of ideas were executed properly. Just over. This person is clearly a solid producer. The biggest gripe that I would have, and maybe it's the overall project, is that song being considered a dance track. But I did enjoy that a lot.
A solid production. I liked the textures coming off the dusty drums. I love those really glossy synthesizers. Everything about it was like really chill and serene and mesmerizing. Also, get me that next submission when you get a chance. Everything was really well EQ'd and balanced and pretty and hypnotic. Like the textures were great. The sensations coming off of it were groovy and vibey. It was nice. I guess like if we're just kind of critiquing it as its own little piece in a vacuum, because obviously I haven't heard this entire record, I don't know how like this track may work in the grander scheme of this project. But if I wanted anything from this track, I suppose as it was extending, which it's not that long of a song to begin with. It's just like, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. I mean, perfectly fine length for like an instrumental beat type cut. Which I think also had maybe a little bit of down tempo vibes coming off of it, which is pretty cool. Like very lo-fi hip hop, very bedroom beats, very down tempo. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this vein, and there's a lot of fantastic music in these lanes that have been made over the years. So this is definitely like an admirable direction to head in artistically that a lot of artists have put out great stuff within over the years. But, I guess as this song progressed, I was hoping for not necessarily super bold changes, as this style of music tends to be very vibey and repetitive, but at least like some more layers. You know what I mean? Like as the beat continued, maybe another synth patch, maybe a very light, very sweet little guitar line, something, just something to throw on top just like an extra melody or some embellishments or some intervals or something, just to add a little bit more flavor as the track was progressing. But, everything that was here was pretty. It was skeletal. It ran a little thin, and I suppose it ended when it needed to, if all the sounds here were all that it was going to provide. But if it continued on past this point, I would love to hear like some more layers, some more, melody, some more touches, some more something. So those are
Right.
my thoughts. Those are my
Yeah.
thoughts on it. It was, pretty while it was on, but it didn't really have like that wow factor that would probably make it stick with me. You know what I mean? But maybe that
Yeah.
could come through if there were more layers or something like that.
I agree with that. There being more layers, just some type of switch or, more textures. If, like you said, this is a very popular genre of music because it's not like overly difficult to make, but you can be extremely creative with it.
Sure.
And I feel like this particular song is a song that would kind of bubble to the top within this genre. So, you could stick with that kind of idea, but just be more, I guess, experimental with it. Make it stick with the person and their ear as they're going along. Um, but again, it could be within the whole context of the project as well.
Sure. Sure. All right. Well, those are some thoughts on the track. Thank you very much for coming through with it and sharing. And again, being our first of the evening, the first brave soul of the evening.
Yeah, I think that was a great start. Shout out to that person.